everybody, welcome back to Gastric Cancer Awareness Month with me, Raquel. So today we're going to be talking about B12 and why it's super important to take post-gastrectomy. So normally you have a stomach, you eat some B12, it releases this little thing called intrinsic factor. Intrinsic factor and B12 bind, and then they go into your small intestine, particularly the ileum, and then they get absorbed. And then you're like, yay, I have all the nutrients I need and I can live a happy little life. However, once you have your total gastrectomy, you no longer have intrinsic factor. So that means all the glorious, delicious B12 that you are eating no longer gets absorbed. You can eat all that you want, but it's just going to go straight through you. And you need B12 to function properly. So you have to supplement. How do you supplement? You could take it sublingually, which means under the tongue. They're little tablets that you take, they absorb, they go directly into your bloodstream. So you don't need to use the stomach, the intestine, the digestion to get that B12. You get it directly through the bloodstream. The other way is parenterally, which is through IV, where you just get it directly injected into the intravenous system, and then voila. So after you have your gastrectomy, you actually have some stores that can last anywhere between 6 months to a year, but they will run out. And when you run out, you're going to start to have symptoms. And some of those symptoms are feeling of fatigue, feeling cold, general, I just said weakness. You can have some confusion. You can get a lot of like numbness and tingling, particularly in the hands and the feet. And you can develop anemia. B12 is vital for all of these. So it's important to get checked 6 months, every 6 months. Sometimes if you're stable for a few years, you can kind of stretch it out to a year as long as you're taking regular supplementation. But you should get checked out every 6 months. Long term, so say you have a deficiency and you have the supplementation, and then you start taking supplementation, I should say, the anemia, the coldness, the numbness and tingling, a lot of that stuff goes away. However, I should say, if you have nerve damage, because what happens is the nerves they can get damaged from the B12 deficiency. They get demyelinated, which means kind of like the coating on the outside goes away. If that gets bad enough, that's actually irreversible in a lot of cases. So you want to avoid that. Take your B12 orally or IV, and see you next time.